too contrived. Actually, it's not. Let's have a really good conversation. Well, what would you like to talk about?
Yeah, I've had lots swirling through my mind, and last night I wrote things down. I haven't been coached in a long time, so I'm excited. Probably a couple of months since I've been.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just am excited. I remember early on being nervous about being coached and a little skeptical even.
Really?
And now, early on.
Okay.
And now I'm just like, all right, let's do this. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I kind of have the sports, like the athlete.
I was going to say, this is a part of your DNA.
Like this is my,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
But it is different being on the other side of things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I have just really gone through tons of change in the last 2 years, almost exactly 2 years, and vocationally, location, everything, every aspect. So everything has been new, uncharted territory.
Yeah.
So I always was a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher. Since I was in first grade, I was going to teach first grade, and second grade, I was going to teach second grade. Like I just knew there was never a question. And then after being coached for the first few times, I quit or took a sabbatical, and have just been like, okay, God, like just I need to trust you. Like I want to, I do, and over things have happened, and I've met people and had conversations that are just so encouraging and spirit-led, and I just on and on again have to just keep at it and keep being faithful, but I'm still not sure. Now it's almost like there's so many things that it's like, okay, I can't. Like I'm an 18-year-old who just graduated and like, look at all these jobs in the world.
That's right. There's so much to do. Yeah.
So now I have to.
What's precipitated all the change?
Move my husband's call.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. From moving from Montana to South Dakota. And then just everything changed just from just
So you're in totally different spaces all around. What would you like to do? Everything.
I have a personality like that, but I do think I could. Yep, I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, I can do that. Oh, you need this from me?
Yeah, I can see that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
So that's where I definitely need to. Okay, now all these things have been stirred up, and there's lots of excitement. So how do I make it realistic and continue on?
What do you need to do? What do you have to do?
Well, I have to be mom, and I have to be wife, and I want, I need to, that's there, and that's, but I know I have to connect with people and encourage. I love to encourage people. I love that. It's been really neat. I've had so much contact with clergy the last couple of years, and a few times had been asked, are you called to seminary? Is that, and in high school I was asked that by my pastor, and I was like, no. And I still check, and I was like, well, I'll just have my husband do that. He did that. He's, but I still don't feel that call. But I feel called to be alongside people and maybe especially clergy to just, yep, you can do this. Like we all need reminders of that, no matter how much education we've had or what leadership roles we're in. We need to be like, we're on the side. Am I doing it? Is this right?
Yeah, right. Encouragement may actually be more important than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
As concretely as possible, what would you like to walk away with in 20 minutes?
A good sort of template for the fall of what my life will be, of what I can just manage, because I've done, the coaching has been like, I knew that was a life changer, but I haven't fully grasped on one way or another, because and I did take the year, and now I'm going to take another year, which wasn't the original plan. But my husband and I feel like, yes, that's right. However, there is a point where I'll have to make money. That's just the reality. We live on $36,000 a year for a family of 5 right now, which is, we can do it, and we're thankful. But like, I I'd like to make money and, not in a way that I can just be.
Not opposed to profit.
In a free way, yeah, in a way.
We're not a not-for-profit, we're not opposed to profit.
Yeah, and
right,
just
okay.
with freedom, like I'd love to be able to, oh yes, I can fly down here and meet you or something, I like, so there is, so after this next year, I do need to have an income. I would like to,
Okay.
I told him, after this year, I need to make $20,000 at least or I need to just find out something else, like
Yeah.
that's, our current, and I've done this community organizing, I'm in a group there, I've kind of done some leadership roles with that, I'm doing, Sunday school, I'm the piano player at the church, I was asked to help with high school boys basketball, which that's what I'm really waiting on too, because I do want to do it for a lot of reasons, but I'm also like, okay, if it doesn't work out, maybe,
Yeah.
kind of want to see my daughter, see a girl do a boy's job, in a way, but then I'm like, is that going to be the time, if I want to commit to coaching? So just all those things, I can't do it all.
No, you can't, which is the beauty of a template, right?
Mhm.
It creates structure and focus.
Mhm.
So what's your template look like?
I think just I need to know, I need to be able to be really organized with this is what my day is going to look like. Even, it's been hard for me to connect doing things that aren't, it's easy for me to say well, I gotta go clean my house or do this and take care of this.
Right.
Because I don't have a job. So
Right.
so finding that I've always just had a contract and then this is my salary and this is what I've done and then there's recess here and there's reading mat workshop and everything's been so clear and she's been there and lined out
Yeah.
and now I have to do it myself in such a new way that I'm
You have to create your own
prioritizing.
structure.
Mhm.
And you like variety.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you're gonna build a life-giving template for yourself,
Mhm.
given who you are, what's a life-giving template look like? I think I really can build people up and I'd like to coach, after this weekend, it's yes. I just, everything that's been happening and unfolding over these last months, it's oh, that's why I had that conversation with this person right now, and then this, and then this, and then been kind of waiting for this weekend, for some discernment. I'm okay, God, oh yeah. So, it seems to me pretty obvious I need to go get my ACC, which I've talked to Charlie before about a year ago, but I didn't have enough knowledge or experience yet to be able to commit yes or no. And so now I feel like that probably needs to be, so that's probably priority. Okay.
Jumping
You
on
need to
that.
be coaching. What are the big rocks in your template? The things that if you're not doing, you're missing and the world is missing. Missing out.
If I'm not doing, just be, encouraging people and encouraging leaders and just, I have high confidence and I'm positive and
Right.
I really can connect with people well and then be yes, you got this.
Right.
So I think I'm good at that and I love it. So I think coaching is the way, it's the most obvious way, so I just need to get from here to there.
All right. So coaching is in the template.
Mhm.
What else is in that template?
That's the hard part, is the management piece of the time and what's realistic. So maybe just saying, yes, I need to commit to coaching and I need to go, get my training and do that and there's going to be follow-up from here that's going to be tangible
Right.
and action. So that's great. That's great.
Yep.
And then maybe just really being mindful and continuing to be coached as I go on and say oh, I guess I can handle these 16 things, or nope, I can only handle 10. So how do I keep discerning and have somebody coach and help me say, or figure out that this is too much or this is manageable without being spread too thin.
Okay. How are we doing going where you need to go?
It's good. I haven't processed through any of this, which I knew I wouldn't
Okay.
be able to until this weekend.
Okay.
So it's good to start processing through it. And I did write things down. I I just felt led, like, last night to just get, like, okay, I'm gonna have to do some action on this, and almost like I've known, but I've needed to get here to say, okay, next,
So it was a Holy Spirit thing that you showed up.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been looking toward this for a long time.
How many big rocks are in this template? Coaching's one of them. You've named that. What are the other big things that are in the template
Well,
that you need to be paying attention to?
I mean, like vocationally or just everything?
You answer it however you want to.
Yeah, so definitely pastor's wife, just wife and parent, like them, those need to be. And I think I will do, I'll do that, I know.
Right.
That's almost a, yes, I will do
Right.
that. And then coaching this way, and I think I've been doing so much all of a sudden with the Synod and so many connections.
Yeah.
That I've, like, it's great, but I have to narrow it down. So, the community organizing, like, we have a training that we're working on again this fall, like, how much, like, they asked me to kind of lead that now that Bill's leaving, like, what's the reality that I can do this and this and this, like, the Sunday school,
Right.
like, what's the reality of that? How can I delegate? How can I get that all in a manageable day-to-day? And I think that will just take some time writing out hours and plans and schedules,
Okay.
because nobody's going to do it for me.
No, you're your own structure now in this new universe. Okay, so I heard coaching, I heard being a spouse, and I heard being a parent. What else is in there?
Well, maybe coaching basketball.
Okay.
That would be big. Community organizing,
Okay.
leading
Okay.
that group.
Yeah.
There's lots of follow-up with that pretty consistently. I think I'm good. Piano, I'll be there anyway at worship. It's not.
You're showing up.
In Sunday school might be the same. I have good people around me that I can, it's really not crazy time consuming. Like, most likely I can handle that.
Yeah.
So maybe just discerning with the community organizing and the coaching and the basketball coaching. Those three things, like, can they all work? Can I handle that all really well and give it everything its due energy and time?
Answer that question.
Of course, I'd like to say,
Right.
I'm an optimist. I just will need accountability to check in of, like, how are you really, is this really, are you being able to give everything the attention that's due, or
So how are you going to do that accountability piece?
just need to be coached to continue to do
Okay.
myself.
So you need coaching. Okay, what else?
Scheduling, calendar.
How are you with that?
I need the physical act of writing it down. I'm pretty good at putting things in my phone, but I need to give myself that, it's important, instead of feeling like it's not my job. Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like, I need to disconnect that from, like, a contract or a salary. Like, that's been tricky for me because it's so new. Not that, like, the tying money to something, not in a greedy way, but just validity-wise, like, oh, this is important, I need to go do this, instead of going, like, that it's worth my time and it's worth my energy.
In situations in the past where you've had moments of real focus and really terrific outcomes, what's that been like for you?
I get pumped, like, I
Right.
feel awesome, like, yeah.
Right. What helped?
Yeah.
What helped get you there in those instances?
I do goal setting.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do to goal set?
Write it down.
Okay.
Say,
Write it down. Okay.
Yeah. So I do need to, I think my first thing after this weekend, and we discuss our coordinator groups and that timeline, is I need to write down what I'll be training with you.
Right.
I'm doing that,
Right.
and then figuring out, like, okay, now what did you all do? What does the ACC look like in the
Yeah.
long run and the short term? Like, how can I manage that? I don't know yet.
Right. So some of this is figuring out what are the dynamics of each of those things that you've named, and what do you need to be working towards in a stepwise fashion. How are you going to do that?
I think I need to remember that summer is its own. Like, giving myself. I'm not. I'm like patient, but I also am like, oh, well, this is what we're doing, let's do it.
Right.
It's hard, sometimes I have to remember, like, okay, a couple of months can feel like, whoa, that's way too long, but the reality is that my kids are home, or the structure's so different in our family and our day-to-day that it's not, you know, I have to just be realistic with myself because I just want to get there now. So give myself like, okay, in September, this is what my days will look like. This is what my weeks will look like. And realizing there's going to be flexibility and change, but like not getting discouraged if I'm not there in the next couple months.
Sure.
Or feeling that. If I still feel a little muddled and unsure in the next couple months, but like, that's okay.
Yeah. So, summer's here now, and you're right, you've got some space and some time. What do you need to do right now to set yourself up for success this fall so that you can live into your template?
Probably really quickly figure out the basketball thing. I wouldn't say it's looming in any sort of anxious. I'm not anxious about it, and so I don't know what that means. I'm not nervous one way or another. It's sort of like, okay, if they decide to, you know, like they're the ones who asked me. I didn't seek it out. And I'm guessing there's I'm pretty sure there's the principal who's like, well, woman coaching. I really think that's probably the holding you back, because the coach is like, I want you, and so it's obviously not his choice. So,
Women don't know things about basketball?
but just coaching the boys, like that's pretty, that's not super normal. I mean, you don't see that. So I'm pretty sure that's the hang up, and I'm not offended personally, but I just kind of am like, so I'm like, okay, I need to know soon.
Right.
Maybe in 2 weeks, like kind of checked in, not, I don't want to nag, but like let me know, and then I can put it on the list or not, because it's
Right.
a big preparation difference
Yes.
if it's on the list
So
or
how can you
not.
find out?
Yeah, I just met the day before I came here. I was like, hey, let's have coffee and check in, and like, he wanted to talk basketball. The head coach is pretty casual, pretty calm, that's fine. I'm like, I just need to know what you need from me. And he goes, yeah, it's pretty slow going. We're interviewing this guy this week. Guess it's, he's like, I think you'd be great. But they have a couple other ideas. So I could tell that he's like feeling like, yeah. So I don't know if that means I need to have a conversation with the principal, or just say, this is my date. Like I need to know one way or another if I need to make that decision.
What do you think?
If I should do it or not.
Yeah.
No. I don't know if my
Of all those things, that's where you went to when we're trying to,
Yeah.
distill this
The
down.
next
Like, we
thing.
need to figure this out.
Mhm.
How do you figure it out?
I don't know. I feel
What would you like to do as a next step regarding that?
so getting to like, hey, I just need to personally know this by July 10th or something. Like picking, that seems reasonable.
When will you have that conversation?
Probably when we get home, like 27th or 28th.
Okay.
Just like I need to know. Whoever knows is like, can I know by then? Like I need. And then meanwhile, starting I don't want to be the one who says. I don't know if I don't want to be the one who says, nope, this isn't going to work for me. I'm doing this coaching thing now. I'm all in.
We'll try that on for size. What's it feel like to say that?
I mostly think about my own kids and the community, and I'm not as connected to this town yet. We haven't been there as long. I don't know if we'll be there for a long time. I really want my kids to be able to connect whatever's best for them. And so then that's, I think, my biggest thing, which I'm like, is that a why big enough to coach? Is it for, I know if I do it, I'll do a good job, but like my own kids are, I think, what I go back to, like their access to the gym and their like exposure to like, I don't know. So maybe my why for I need to figure out my why for coaching. Is it reasons that it will be big enough for me to really go for it, or am I kind of like, yeah, this would be cool for a year, and I don't know. I just
How are you going to figure that out?
I probably need to write down a good old list of like a pros and cons list, or just like
Right.
and with my family on the, because that's what I think I keep going back to is my own children, and with if it's a good idea for them, if it's gonna really help them. Like, my youngest loves basketball, so I'd have a key, you know? I don't know if that sounds,
So what do you want to do next?
so I need to
Concretely, what are your
have,
next steps?
I'll tell or ask this head coach, like, I'm gonna need a date here, like,
Yep.
I just need to know, and then I can plan either way.
Yeah.
And talk to my husband too, and about, I know he's all completely supportive, but just making sure, say I did get it, that I would be, okay, this is all for the right reasons, and I'm gonna do.
So you're going to give the coach a due date. You're going to talk to your husband. What else are you going to do?
And then just continue on with this coaching.
With
Mhm.
ACC prep and mentor coaching.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Well, the community organizing group meets Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I need to identify my concerns, like this group of people, this weekend we're so like-minded that I don't ever feel like I have to, remind everybody it's gonna be okay, or like keep with it, this is gonna be worth it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like usually I feel like I have to do that in almost every other setting I'm in group settings. Like,
Right.
I'm the one who has to be like,
Right.
just trust it, come on, don't be discouraged, we can handle it, it's okay. And I haven't had to do that here, so it feels so obvious that I want to continue on because of all of the like-minded leaders and motivation and positive attitudes.
Yeah.
And the people in my community organizing group are fabulous, but I almost feel like I have to be like, don't give up, it's okay, no, don't make an excuse not to make the next meeting because you feel overwhelmed or you're not sure what's going to be next. So I think I need to discern that and maybe be honest with this group about how much I'm going to jump in for the coaching. Would someone else be willing to lead a little bit more?
So it's not as much pressure on you.
Yeah, and then I don't want to sound like that it would dissipate without me. But do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I want to. I still believe in that, and that group has led me to this. I mean, it's been just huge for me to get here in so many ways, confidence and boldness, and claiming my power, all that. So I know it's so important. It's been so important in my journey. So how do I respect that group and relationship, but being realistic about, or maybe this will connect with it. Maybe there'll be a connection as we move forward with that group too.
Well, the great thing is you've got a lot of grist for the next coaching conversations that you're going to be having. So you can continue to work this issue. How do we do today with your stuff in this 23 minutes?
It's good to talk through. So definitely figuring out, I think, the basketball piece, just, like I said, I don't have a physical nervousness about it, but I do know that it needs to be, I need to know one way or another.
Yeah.
And then I can schedule around. Because when I just think about sheer number of hours of coaching and what that's going to take, and my personality it's not going to be like, I'll do a few here over the next so many years. It's going to be like, so I have to remember who I am and how that, I'm going to want to, so I need to be giving everything the attention it's due.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. So we're going to rotate, and we're going to talk to them for just a minute.
You want that on?
Yeah, it's fine. We'll capture it, and I can cut all this down for Jill's sake. So, how was that for you? You have a lot of plates spinning.
Or bubbles
Mm-hmm.
floating?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel, it's good to do this because like I said, I haven't been. And I've been really, even with the coaching, I knew God was when I first was introduced to it, when I sort of asked about it really meekly and sort of embarrassed. And then it was like, oh, here, do this. And I was like, oh, so clear. But I just haven't had a very clear vision of the next since then for this last probably 9 months. And then, I can't believe I totally forgot about my book.
Are you writing the book?
I wrote a book and I want to get it published by next summer. That was the,
She needs a personal.
Turn that
manager.
camera back
Back
on.
on, yeah, right.
Personal manager
I
here.
can't believe I
No,
forgot
you know,
about that.
as I was talking with you, it's just, for me, I was resonating with all the moves that we've had that have flown from our personal family situations, just changed everything, and how long it takes for everything, for the water and everything in the water to kind of settle to the ground. And you're still in that space of trying to figure out,
What's realistic, what's our new norm?
yeah. So I didn't expect for you to go to the basketball as like the key thing you really needed to figure out for the fall. I thought that was interesting, but he was like, I need to, this is a big rock, I'm gonna give energy to this, it's really important, I really need to know what's going on with that. So I thought that was really interesting distillation of our conversation. I hadn't anticipated that, but that's part of the fun of this, right? You know, you don't know what's happening for people, but just to get that said, it's a big deal. Yeah, what else?
Well, it's interesting, the book didn't even come up,
I
right?
cannot believe that.
But it's because that the basketball piece is a block,
Right
right?
in
So
front of you.
it's right in front of you. You need an answer on that.
Yeah.
And I love how patient you were with kind of getting there. As a coach, I tend to push to the action steps a little fast, I think, and so I was. We might not have gotten to that specific basketball question if I had been, pushing towards the calendaring or the more concrete steps. And it was a learning for me.
I would have, if you had more time, I probably would have asked. So, like, because you followed up on the basketball thing a few times trying to get her, and my thought is always, especially if they're like waiting on someone else, well, either what if you don't get that, or what if they don't respond, or, like, it's already preparing them for,
Right.
what are you going to do, or what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Like, what's your empowered step if they don't know by then?
That's exactly where the conversation would have gone for me.
I thought you might be, heading that way.
Yeah. But I was also trying to get her, because she had named 6 different things.
At
And
least
so,
6.
and that's an awful lot for a 20-minute conversation. So I felt like the basketball, that's not a shortcoming on your part, that's your life,
Yeah.
right?
It's the next
So getting a
point.
distillation, but then helping you think through, okay, what are the other things? So I mean, I heard the mom and the being a supportive partner to your husband in this call, those are kind of given things, right? They're main things. But figuring out how to honor this coaching thing, how to honor, I mean, you're an encourager at the, so coaching makes sense in this arena and coaching makes sense in a basketball arena. So you were kind of distilling that stuff down. It was just, to get to action steps for you that would be helpful.
Yeah.
But I felt like you got there.
Yeah, what I saw in the coaching dynamic was a whole list of all kinds of stuff you wanted to work on, and I get really uncomfortable because I know how significant a coaching agreement is. So 20 minutes. What's the agreement for the end of 20 minutes?
Yeah.
So I was very nervous, but still about 4 or 5 minutes in, because there was still no agreement. There was a lot, and then we started talking about a number of things that you had great concern about, but there was still no agreement.
Well, the agreement was the template. She wanted a template for the fall.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So we're going a few more minutes, and then you ask the question. So the end of our 20 minutes that we have today, what do you want to walk away with? And
Right.
boom, I said, thank God, because there was still so much spinning. So that was a beautiful thing. And then you named template, you use that language, and then you, Nathan, used that language the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Because you painted it.
Yeah.
So that was very well done, I thought. And then you had then it was prioritizing, and then the basketball coach rose to the top
Right.
for what to do
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about the 20 minutes. Any session we have to have, whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, or 2 hours, we have to have an agreement as to where you want to go.
Right.
And you did.
I feel like I heard 3 different times, so maybe I didn't. Meaning, like, coaching agreement type questions where you were asking basically for her to.
Well, coaching agreement in my head is 3 moves. It's broad topic, core issue and really desired outcomes.
So all three.
And so they were all in there in some form.
Okay.
And they don't all happen at the same time.
Gotcha.
They happen
That's
over
what
the
I-
arc
okay.
of a
I was thinking
conversation.
piece. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, I liked Lester White. I always think of how he said we all have we're like air traffic
Yes.
controllers and the planes are all here.
Yeah.
Good
Which
one.
one needs to come next? And
That's
I'm like,
right.
I really just feel like that needs to come next. And I don't, it's so fascinating that I don't have just a gut, like, maybe I mean, as far as like yes or no, and I need to figure out my motives for the reality of, like, it's like a connection to our community. And whereas all this is a connection to the larger church, so I want to be connected to our community and like with my kids. So that I think that's where I'm struggling. And then the book is so I can't believe I didn't say
would've been a
that
great
first.
conversation. No, so aside from the book, but how can this work actually help you connect better to your local community?
Mhm.
How is this not a binary conversation?
Yeah, and maybe this coaching, and it seems so out of that realm and different
Yeah.
with my community, but
Yeah.
and might end up being the way I connect the best, and not
Right.
just the way I know, which is coaching basketball. That's just what I know.
Right.
That's what I grew up with. It's comfortable. It makes sense in my brain. I can picture what it's going to be like.
Jump
This
right
I
in.
can't.
Yeah.
This I
Right.
can't.
That's
You know,
what I
and
sensed
also-
from you was like that it was, you have the comfortable thing you know, and then you have the thing that's new that is really unknown and unsure, and yeah.
That
that's
I
what
know I
was-
need to keep going with, but it's
That you, I mean, you said several times you felt called to, you know, but then you kept going back to the comfort thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And
normally
the
normal,
community
yeah.
organizing, you know, you talk as if coaching and community organizing are separate,
But
but
it's not.
those things
Yeah.
are gonna
They really
interweave with
don't.
each
They
other,
just-
and you're gonna find that
Yeah.
you're actually getting skills and
Yeah.
finding clients through that side of things.
Maybe I'm coaching my community maybe that's what we're moving forward, is I'm coaching those 5 other people.
Right?
Because I felt so called in Chicago of like, no, I'm not called to be pastors too. I'm called to tell you 5, you're doing a good job. You can do this.
Right.
Like, why am I in that relationship? Maybe that's why. So maybe the basketball thing is just safe, and like my, you know, like my family back home might be like, well, what? You said you didn't want to do that? Like, that makes no sense in our world.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a new world though. He named it earlier.
yeah.
This is totally off the wall, but I was thinking of dinner 7 days a week. Practice, you know, start in November and you're done in March. Throw in the church year then too. You got Christmas, Easter.
Yeah.
Who's making dinner on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night? No, that's just me, and it's not helpful to the conversation, but it's my way of
real.
understanding what the pressures are on.
The time pressures. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I just need to be like, thank you for thinking of me. I'm very flattered my name came up. So, because there's that whole pull of me a little bit as like the woman too, of like, yeah, I could do this,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you didn't think I could? Well, I'm gonna be awesome. But I'm like, I don't need to prove. I don't need that to prove, you know? Like,
No, you don't.
I don't need that, which is good for me to say out loud because. But yeah, I could do it and I'd be awesome. But this is a big mistake, big, huge.
Well, we don't deserve
You know you're awesome.
So that's, yeah, so maybe just the whole, like, it's so comfortable, it's so safe, I know what it's like, but I also know it's so many hours and the bus, like, and then so how am I gonna be able to really beat, like, the coaching, this new call? So,
Tuesday and Fridays are game nights, right?
it's all the time, yeah, Tuesday,
It's
Friday,
all the time
Saturday,
now.
Tuesday, well, last year he said they had 10 games in 22 days at one point, it's crazy. And I do love that, and I do,
Yeah,
and like I
that's
get
the
to
kind of
coach in
pressure
a
you
different,
thrive on.
like there's, like me coaching is like, like I can't do that in any other setting, but maybe this will be that outlet. So anyway.
Call it.